Hey, so this is the review for The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 1, Episode 3. What a little whiskey can do. Yes, so that title is very fitting because, long story short, Ashley showed the most maturity of all of these ladies, and she's the youngest. She's 26 years old. And I'm thinking to myself, how are these classy, highfalutin ladies acting so petty? And yet you have this young person coming into the scene and showing them how it's done. That's embarrassing. But at least they were mature enough to learn from it. I know I just skipped a bunch of stuff, but let's get right into it. So we have Katie is meeting with this guy because she's trying to, she's doing this interview because she needs as much promotion as she can for her foundation, the Ross Foundation. And essentially it goes and a lot of people donate to it, and what that does is the money goes right back out, and right back out into other charities, local charities, and it's of course hundreds of millions of dollars. And Katie was even like, the money that she made from modeling and essentially from her own personal work went straight to the charity, and I can really respect that because at the end of the day, that's pretty impressive that someone is really that philanthropic. Definitely respect that. I don't care what their background is. I still find that very impressive. So the guy's talking to her about general stuff, the kids, what's going on with your love life. Because, you know, she's in Potomac, so that's how it is. Everyone's inquiring about her love life. And poor thing, she basically just beat around the bush. It was like, you know, we're not engaged, we're not married yet. And he was just like, okay, type of thing. And it's like, damn, is that really necessary to know? But anyway, so you have Karen and Giselle. They meet up. They meet up because they're like, you know what? We're friends. We're friends for real. So this whole back and forth type of pettiness, here's the rules for etiquette and all this stuff. It was all petty. Petty, and unnecessary. So they realized that. So thank the Lord. And they just come to an agreement. And they don't even agree to disagree. It's just like, I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for that. Move on. And Karen was not one to actually initiate it. Because remember, Giselle tried to initiate the first time. That didn't work out so well. Oh, I like how that sounds. Anyway, that didn't work out so well. So we have Katie and Ashley, and Katie's husband and Ashley's boyfriend are doing a double date and just getting to know each other. And so of course, Katie brings up the fact that Giselle and Robin, they weren't really feeling her like that. And no, Ashley was saying that Robin and Giselle weren't feeling her like that. And they called her a thought and all that stuff. And Katie is just like, oh, Katie didn't understand why they were acting that way, but Katie is trying to come up in the social scene, so of course she needs to mingle around with these ladies. Not Katie, I'm sorry, Ashley. And so that's why she's really trying to do a lot to fit in. But it was funny because Katie's boyfriend was like, you know what? Giselle is basically, think of, you know, you don't know Karen yet, do you? Okay, think of an older, cronish, haggard version of Giselle. And that's Karen. I'm like, well, damn. That's so messed up. That is so messed up. Is it wrong? Who's to say? Who is to say? So the next scene is actually with Robin and her husband. And the issue is, the reason why they're still living together, her husband is on the come up as far as his career slowly going back up. But their finances are messed up. Their finances are really messed up. And that happened because they invested a lot of money into investments and stocks. And of course, when the stock market crashed years ago, all their money went down the drain. And then, of course, he wasn't playing anymore, so those checks weren't coming in. So now they had no income. So it was like they just had the house. Clearly, they downsized everything. She's selling her wedding dress because they don't have the money like that. And I respect that they're being really honest and real about this, because it's like, damn, you're in Potomac and you have to deal with that type of issue. Let's see how long that stays private. Let's see how long that stays personal. And of course, she's talking about her marriage and how she was so happy, and she actually fell asleep the night of the marriage, that they got married. So there was no sexual relations. Yeah. But I was surprised is when he was driving a Ford to take the kids to school, I was like, Smurf? Smurf? I was like, okay. Alrighty. So yeah, after that, we have Karen, and she's with her daughter, and her daughter's getting ready for prom. And, you know, Karen's just like, oh, my baby's growing up. She's leaving the nest. And her boyfriend or prom date is a white guy. Doesn't matter. But, and that's exactly what Karen feels as well. It's like, you know, here in Potomac, interracial dating is pretty normal and all that. So I'm like, that's why there's so many light skin. Let me stop. Let me stop. But yeah, you know, we were all thinking it. But yeah, her daughter is going to the prom, and it was really cute, and they look like a cute little couple. So that was nice to see. So there's a really interesting moment that happens. Katie invites Ashley to hang out with Charisse and Karen. But before that, we have Robin just talking with her mom, and of course she's there to sell the wedding dress. The wedding dress got devalued by 40% because it got worn. So it's like, okay, damn. And of course she took a picture with her wedding dress, and she was just talking about her and her husband, and because they still sleep in the same bed together, and we just speculate that they're still sleeping together, but we have no proof, so we're not gonna go and be too messy about that. But we have Charisse and Karen. They're actually shopping together, looking for bathing suits for her daughter, for Karen's daughter. I was like, okay, all right, you're the parent, so that makes sense. If you want her to wear something, it should be coming from you, approved. That makes sense. But then you have Ashley come in because Katie invited her, and Ashley fits it. Karen and Charisse like Ashley. Karen really likes Ashley. It's like, I think she likes her energy, she's youthful, and it was just like, oh, someone that Giselle's upset about? Someone that rubbed Giselle the wrong way? Oh, is it because she's younger? Because they're both beautiful and pretty, so clearly that can't be the situation. But there was a little fashion show going on, and it's funny because you have Ashley on one side, never had a child. Katie on the other side had 3 kids. Both look great, in my opinion. Both look great. And it's just like, oh, first one, ass is hanging out. Oh, everything that Katie was wearing, it was just like, okay, how old are you? Again, type of thing. And they're just like, nah. For Ashley, it was just like the sizing, but aside from that, they were all good. So then, it's just interesting because I'm like, there's nothing wrong with Katie's body. She looks great. She had 3 kids. But this is where you have Karen that's just like, you know what? If you need some help, I got you. I got the best surgeon. I got you. And it was just like, okay. We're not surprised, but all right. So they get ready to go, and again, it was just like mission accomplished because Ashley fit in with Karen and Charisse really well, which was weird to see, considering the fact that you would think that Karen is like a really uppity version of Giselle, but it's like, no, the Potomac is still in Giselle as well. So Giselle's back at home with her kids, with her daughters, and this is my favorite scenes, is actually her with her daughters, because of course they're so cute, and they're all so grown at the same time. It's just like I said in my first review, I was like, oh, Giselle, that's going to be a lot. Oh, you're going to have to watch them, because they are going to give you a run for your money. So she's doing a quick fashion show, trying to figure out what to wear. And Katie is talking with her boyfriend. I almost said husband. With her boyfriend because she's trying to figure out how is she going to exactly get money for her foundation. And they need to come up with a plan. They need to figure out who they're going to hit up. They need to figure out what they're going to do. And so it's game time. But aside from that, we have Ashley. She's doing this whiskey tasting. And I'm like, wait a minute. Whiskey tasting with these ladies? I was like, even a lot of guys won't drink whiskey. I'm like, okay, all right. But you have them go, and again, Karen, even though she's just like, if I knew this is how people would dress, I wouldn't go and do this. It's like, where are we? Why are we going to the bottom of this building? What is this? What is that? It's like, okay, there's Potomac in all of these ladies. There's Potomac and all of these ladies. And again, Giselle was just like, what the hell? But it was interesting. So they finally all got there, and they sit down, they start drinking, and it's just like, and I know part of it was for theatrics. I'm sure it was really strong and pungent and horrible. They're all making faces. So it was all in good fun. But it was like, at least they came to her world in an area where she's comfortable and Ashley's comfortable. And they came together for her. So that was nice. That was nice. And of course she appreciated that. She understood that, these Potomac women, this may not be their thing. And long story short, the conversation comes up about how Ashley felt offended because you called her a thought. How are you going to call someone a thought? Well, first, it was Charisse and Giselle rehashing what was going on because they're like, me and Karen are cool, so what's going on with you and I? And so then Ashley was like, well, I did feel offended. I didn't appreciate you calling me a thought. I'm like, a thought's a hoe. A thought is someone, so you call me a hoe? It's like, no, it was hoish behavior. So it's like, it was hoish behavior. Oh, so maybe you need to reevaluate that because a hoe is someone who just sleeps around with a bunch of people. And so I'm definitely not that. It's like, yeah, she's married and probably took her the least amount of time out of a lot of you. Anyway, but it was nice because once they kind of started to hash it out and really talk about it, I think Giselle realized, you know what, I'm not really feeling this girl all the way through, but this liquor got me feeling some type of way, so let me go and be nice, and let me just apologize, because I know that's what she wants, so I can be a bigger person and just do it, even if I don't really mean it. And so that's what happens. And you also have Katie, who is with her boyfriend, and they're doing the rounds, and of course they're doing really well because they have to raise millions. That's the type of fundraising the Ross Foundation does. Millions. Now it gets awkward because there's this one woman who's engaged and carries, and it's just like, oh my gosh, look at that rock, and how long, how did it happen, what did it do, blah boom blah bang. And here's the problem. Here is the problem. They ask her what's going on with her. She's got nothing to say. There was this, it was literally 20 seconds of just like, so yeah, there's that. So, like I said, Giselle was like, well, you were humping Robin and do all this, so we didn't know. And they got along after she apologized, and then Charisse actually went across and hugged Giselle and was like, you know what, I apologize. We've been friends for all these years, so this has been this is too petty. Too petty to have a friendship ruined or partially messed up because of it. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Come, big girl panties on. So, after that, we have this final scene with Katie and her husband and her boyfriend, who he's basically like, you know what? I would have asked to marry you 6 months ago if you weren't pressuring me every second of every day of every moment of our lives together in this relationship. And that was pretty much it. So next week there's going to be some interesting truths coming out. I think Robin's financial situation is going to be coming out. Ashley might have been the cause of that, so there might be a rift between those two. And Charisse's personal relationship with her husband, the truth about that might be coming out as well. So please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Please come back next week.